1968 Ford Mustang, 12,000 miles, unrestored. I'm going to go over the trunk area. Wanted to show that. And before I go into that, I think one of the most interesting things on here is you have a car with 12,000 miles, 1968, 2024. So if I do the math, 56 years, and it looks like the trunk was never used for anything, and pretty much like the whole car. But you would think at least that the purpose of a car, right, is to move people and move things, and nothing ever seems like it was ever put in the trunk. We'll start with the deck lid. Deck lid, you can see the paint, which is always interesting. It's not perfect. It's a little bit thin in spots. You could see some of the red oxide in different light shine through. The jack sticker on the back here, if you look closely, you can see some of the reproductions, they don't have the engineering number correctly. Instead of a -D, they just put the D in there without the dash. Or the other version, they've shifted over this drawing of the car, and there's a lot of empty space here. So I mean, we're grateful for guys that do that, but just pointing out the difference in original versus reproduction. And the same thing with this safety sticker. Some of the reproductions don't even have the engineering number. And Ford basically put on all of the stickers, with some exceptions, an engineering number. And this one here, you can see the C8 in the corner. Some of the reproductions, the font's too big or it's just missing. Also this, I always thought that was cool, a little check mark on the bottom of the deck lid, trunk lid. If you go here, you can see, interestingly enough, the run in the paint. I mean, across the whole back, all the way across. And was it a big deal? No, because it was in the trunk. And then the engine compartment would be the same thing. There was areas where, yeah, it wasn't uncommon to have runs in the paint. The rest of the body is beautiful, but those areas were not critical. The big thing here in the trunk is the trunk mat, right? Why does the trunk mat look like this? I think two reasons. One, it wasn't used, and secondly, there's no underlayment. No underlayment underneath here. And that underlayment, which is that tar paper, it's during this period wasn't being put in these cars. Not really sure why, but maybe it was a cost savings, maybe it was a supply thing, but that saved the trunk mat. That's why this looks this good. You can't, when you have that in there, these things get stained over the years. They don't look very good. You can see some of underlayment over here, but it wasn't in the trunk. And oh yeah, luggage. We got the luggage strip protector, the gray instead of the black. A lot of the reproductions are black. This was held in place with glue. You can see some residue here, some here, and you pull this back. See that? Just a little bit so it doesn't go anywhere. This piece of paper I've kept because we don't know what it is. Maybe it's assembly line. It's some kind of paper that for some reason don't know what that is, but I thought for the history of the car, I want to keep it and not do anything with it. The sound deadener, I thought that was really cool. You could see how it was applied, right? 1, 2, 3, and then a little X mark on there. Tail light, also pretty common that we see these during the years. The tape, we think the tape was here so nothing would get in, and then when they were putting the wiring in on the assembly line, pop that off, put the tape right here. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, and that's what something like that would look like. 3 protectors, just like assembly line, 2 on the other side. This here, get the light on that. The see, that's left over from welding the car. It's kind of interesting that that little piece got painted over and kept in place all these years. Spare tire. So this is an NOS spare tire. We added the tires. Obviously it didn't have these tires when I got the car. It had radials. The guy kept the wheels, and over the years collected these, but I thought an NOS tire for the trunk is a nice touch. I mean, that's ideally what you want. You want something that has no road wear whatsoever. And these Firestone white walls are a little difficult to find. See, the wheel's never been mounted. Original paint. And the date code. You can see the date code back there. 8F for June. Original style jack handle. The dill style valve cap. And then an Excel wheel weight. These wheel weights, the big three were using a couple companies for wheel weights. This was one of them. So on original wheels, you'll find that sometimes. And in through here, look how nice that looks. So, see the paint runs is interesting to see that in the corner there. You got the tape that's holding the sending wire for the fuel tank, just like the assembly manual will show that. Tags, inspection for the wire harness, same thing here. And then the fuel filler neck. I wanted to show this detail. Typically we see these turned back around, but on this car they were put together this way with the clamps. Finish on there on the fuel filler neck, tin lead, and then you can see for the license plate light the wiring there. Finishes, see this, the paint again, you could see how it's get that red oxide through there. Nice detail. Finish on the trunk latch, trunk catch, another date code, May, and yeah, one other date code in here. On the lip here you see May 24th, and then back here April 4th. June built car. There you go, that's the trunk. Ready for another 12,000 miles.